All right, folks, I have a 2021 NFL mock draft available. Check it out on our Chat Sports YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. All 32 picks, including the Cowboys pick. I'm not going to give it away who I predicted for them, but go check it out. It's at youtube.com/chatsportstv. And don't worry, I'll make sure that link gets in the comments and in the description for you guys. Let's talk draft then on today's mailbag from Alan. Cowboys, what's the best and worst case scenario for the Cowboys in the draft this year? Who's the best player they can get? Still early. It's a bit unfortunate for Dallas. Like, their biggest needs are cornerback, and you can argue edge rusher, and maybe safety and defensive tackle, and those biggest needs don't align perfectly with the top available players. The best player they could have gotten was probably Penei Sewell, but 0% chance of that one right there. I'm looking cornerback. I think that makes a lot of sense. Or a trade down. I do love a good trade down, of course, in the NFL draft. All right, from Zachary, if Devonta Smith is available at 10, would we take him or trade down? The only way you can take Devonta Smith is if you have already or would trade Michael Gallup. You're not going to maximize having 4 receivers, all highly paid or early round picks. Like, that's not a good path there. I would trade down and take a defensive player. And in general, this draft has to focus on a defensive player. Your offense in reality is already a B+ or an A- or an outright A. You add Devonta Smith, cool. You get a little bit better. But your defense is a D or an F. You got to get the D or the F up, man. The offense is already really good. That's not your problem. You have to find draft, and frankly free agency too, you have to find defensive options. You don't have enough good talent there. And that's why you had so many struggles early, even when Dak was playing. That's got to be your key focus if you're the Dallas Cowboys. All right, from my burner account, any role player free agents you want Dallas to retain. You can go check out, by the way, our full breakdown of Cowboys free agents. That's available on the channel right now. Just Cowboys free agents. Go check it out. youtube.com/CowboysTV, of course. In terms of the role players, I think Cedric Wilson, RFA, easy retention. Antoine Woods, RFA as well. I'd like to bring back Jordan Lewis in some capacity. Cheap deal, but it's got to be cheap for almost all of the Cowboys free agents not named Dak Prescott. Phil Tucker, what about Shaun Wade for the Cowboys in round 1, the Ohio State corner? Saw Todd McShay had him still around there. Yeah, I don't want to throw too much shade here, but Todd McShay's wrong. Clearly didn't watch Shaun Wade. There's no other explanation. Because Shaun Wade this year, guys, who Iowa was excited about entering this year, has been bad. 7 games, he's allowing a 66% completion rate, giving up over like 14 yards per reception, 6 touchdowns allowed. I liked his traits to be an outside corner after playing kind of a nickel safety role last year, and he has failed as an outside corner. Now, maybe he bounces back in a big way against Alabama. Cool, that's awesome. Helps him out. But he's not a round 1 guy. He's absolutely not. So with Shaun Wade not being an answer, who do you guys want the Dallas Cowboys to draft in the 2021 NFL Draft? Get your votes in. In fact, I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get the ad break, scroll on down, go to the pinned comment, and let me know. From Bass Attack TV, based on J.J. Watt's comment to Watson, I think he's ready to leave Houston. I don't know how that was your takeaway from J.J. Watt's comment. His comment was, "I'm sorry." Not like, yo, I hate it here. Like, that's not what he said. But if he does, should we target him to fill our pass rusher need? If you can get J.J. Watt, yeah, I'm all for it. Now, he means a lot to that city, that organization. I know they're kind of in a bit of a shamble spot here. I would be pretty darn surprised. All right, from Kilgore, you see Dak regressing this next year due to the ankle. My mom, who had no surgery, no cast, nothing, is 41. After a year, she's able to run without pain, so I see him doing fine. What about you? Not often we have a NFL injury compared to a mother injury. Glad to see your mom's doing better, by the way. I'm not concerned. Look, it's not a shoulder. It's not even an ACL. It's an ankle with no nerve damage. I think he's going to be fine. I'm not concerned about it at all. From Fat Sushi Man, who is your dream free agent? That is not Dak. Acknowledging that Fatty's only was a complete disaster, I would like to go find a defensive tackle. I think Dalvin Tomlinson of the Giants would be a really nice addition, and honestly, might be in the Cowboys' price range. From Andres Perez, sing Sarah Fuller. I got a bad voice. I'm not going to do it. All right, Alex Wilson. How do we get Patrick Surtain and Earl Thomas? First off, Earl Thomas, super chat, bottoms up. Well, okay, maybe you're right, producer Brett. He says it's not get Earl Thomas. Okay, that's fair. We'll focus on Surtain. He might be there at 10. I like him. I thought he had a good year for Alabama, and caveat, I want to see how he plays against OSU. Duh. He's not going to run that well, and I actually have concerns about pairing two corners on the outside, Diggs and Surtain, who are 4.55-ish guys. That's kind of a concern for me. Now, in terms of what the Cowboys did in my most recent mock draft, you can go check it out. All I'll say is I got a defensive player. No offensive lineman. I got a corner in particular. Maybe it's Surtain. Maybe it was J.C. Horn. Maybe it was Caleb Farley. It was not Shaun Wade. Go check out my latest NFL mock draft at youtube.com/chatsportstv. And don't worry, folks. I will also make sure links in the comments and in the description. From the Arturo, should Tony Pollard get more playing time than Zeke? No. I like Tony Pollard a lot. This is kind of a Felix Jones type discussion, though. Pollard is able to maximize and stay efficient because his volume is down. When he gets to be the number 2 speedier guy compared to a number 1, that's how you maximize him. Relative to the contract, I like him more than Zeke. But as a pure 25 touch a game guy, I like Zeke more. But yes, use Tony Pollard more than what they did for most of this season. From Izzy World, is there a speedy wide receiver we can sign or draft late? I think when you get to day 3 with Gallup, a future free agent, that's around the time you probably want to be looking for a speedier receiver. I like Tutu Atwell out of Louisiana. I think that should be around the right range for him. I think you could look at someone. This is a bigger guy, but a good athlete. Tamorrion Terry from FSU. There will be some value for the Cowboys late in the draft at receiver. I don't know there's going to be a Darnell Mooney, Tulane Bears receiver now, but you can find a good player later on. From Kilgore, I appreciate that, Tom. Just by the way, my mom didn't have a compound ankle fracture. She did, however, fracture her fibula. Yikes, that does not sound fun at all. Thanks for the super chat, though, my man. All right, Dominic Jackson, trade our 1st and 4th round pick for Stephon Gilmore. I think that a Stephon Gilmore trade is a lot more likely than what it was in the middle of this season. However, I can't do this. And there are a couple different reasons here. Number one, Stephon Gilmore has 1 year left on his deal. So I don't want to give up a top 10 pick and a almost top 100 pick for a guy I also have to pay, especially when that player is coming off a partially torn quad. That really hurts his value. They can have my 2nd rounder. I'm not going to trade my 1st rounder, though, for him. From Rique, I think that's how you pronounce it, Avila. Anyway, do we draft Kwity Paye? I hope not. Fine player, great athlete, good upside. You know, if you don't retain Aldon Smith, you do need an edge rusher. I don't think he's going to be worth the top 10 pick in the draft. I really don't. I would rather draft a corner at 10 or trade down. And if Paye's there when you trade down, I'm a little bit more amenable to that particular move. From Breezy Easy, should we trade Gallup and a 2nd rounder for Watt? Possibly hot take. I don't know if I'd trade one of them for J.J. Watt. Again, it's a similar situation to what the Stephon Gilmore discussion is, right? You have a soon-to-be 32-year-old in J.J. Watt, who's also fairly expensive relative to what defensive linemen make right now, and is also due for an extension if you want to keep him around. So the 2nd rounder, I don't mind that in a bubble. I think you're close, but you got this year and next year of about $16 million per year for J.J. Watt. The Gallup-Watt trade, I think, is fairly close to equal value, but Houston doesn't need a receiver, so that probably doesn't intrigue them as much as you might think. So I like J.J. Watt a lot. With his contract being where it's a lot of money and a lot to give up. I like him a lot. If you could talk me into a third for Watt, I just think a second is a little bit too much. Now, if you guys want to stay up to date on everything going on around America's team, hit that big red button and subscribe today. It's youtube.com/CowboysTV. It's a new URL, folks. So if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter or wherever, youtube.com/CowboysTV. Hit that big red button and subscribe today. From Alistair Wilson, should we go for an O-line player or D-line player if the corners are off the board? I think that makes some sense. I do want to see, who's there in general. You could have a scenario where there are 2 O-linemen gone and 2 corners gone, and it's well, shoot, maybe a trade down because there's a better offensive player some other team needs instead. But I think O-line, D-line, corner, all areas the team should definitely be looking at. From Alakai Trimble, is Kellen Moore being groomed to be our future head coach? Not necessarily the Cowboys head coach, but a future head coach. Yeah, that's what he wants to do. I think that's a very logical decision for Kellen Moore. That's where his path is trending here. In terms of the Jason Garrett 2.0 thing, does kind of feel that way. But also, if you're Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys, if you win, you're not going to fire McCarthy. Kind of takes care of that issue. So the issue with Wade and Garrett was that the Cowboys fell apart on defense under Wade. That's what happened. If it happens again, we might be right back there again, huh, folks? All right, making sense. What about going after Tyler Biadasz to replace Travis Frederick? Dude, click live. You're a year. Oh, my God. You don't even know what's about to happen. You're a full year in the past. Oh, dude, I am so sorry. Dude, 2020 is so bad. It gets so bad at the end of the year. Oh, man. Just skip ahead. In terms of starting, yeah, I think he starts next year for the Cowboys. All right, from Anthony Bepore, is Anthony Brown tradable? Maybe. Probably. The contract, kind of. The way he played, I'm going to go with probably not. And in terms of tradable getting value back, I'd be kind of surprised on that one. I don't think that's a very likely outcome for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, do I need a haircut? Get your votes in here. Y for yes, N for no. Let me show you. All right, because the answer, by the way, as I fluff it down, is yes. It is all the way over half of my eyes. I think I absolutely need a haircut. So spam yes, because this is not good on-air look. Yeah, producer Brett says I might get fired if not. It's long overdue. But yeah, I think I absolutely need a haircut. All right, from Ryan Marquez, who's tight end number 1 next year, Schultz or Jarwin? Was big on Jarwin, but Schultz played well. By the way, everyone like and subscribe to the channel is amazing. Thank you, Ryan. Everyone be like Ryan. Super chat and plug the channel. Great man. It's a good question, by the way. Let them compete? I think it'll be Jarwin. And in the end, this is a good problem to have. Neither of these guys are that expensive. As a reminder, Blake Jarwin cost less for the Cowboys than Jason Witten did last year for the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes, Jarwin, even though he got hurt, was going to cost less than Witten. It's a good problem to have. All right, Brendan Allen. Out of the rookies we drafted last year, who do you think will progress the most next season? I think next year CeeDee Lamb will be your best second-year player. I think he'll figure out the drop issues. He'll go for 1,000 yards once Dak Prescott's healthy. I think in terms of progression, I'm going to go with Tyler Biadasz. I think, and I want to say Michael Gallup, but I think it's going to be Biadasz. I think he's going to be a full-time starter. A full normal offseason, working with Dak, working as the center 1, is going to do a lot for his progression. Rashard Lee, how many draft, I think you mean picks, do the Dallas Cowboys have? We don't yet know for certain. There are the comp picks that have yet to be handed out, but the expectation is, barring more trades, the Cowboys will end up with around 10 draft picks. And by the way, there's going to be 1 first, 1 second, and probably 2 thirds the Cowboys might be in a position to have 4 top 100 picks. That's valuable for a team that needs to reload and really kind of rebuild on defense. Now, if I missed your guys' questions, I'm sorry. We have like 800 people watching live right now. We just can't get to all of them. But that's why I have my Twitter DMs open. Hit me up at WhatGoingDowney. That way we don't miss anything for you guys. So hit me up on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney.